Here's something I want to show you guys real quick. Sometimes when the market's really bad and things aren't selling, you can always offer to do some trading. So recently I sold some rusty, crusty old Model A stuff. I traded it. Instead of getting cash, I got a offset gen bracket, which will work great with my Evans 2x2, a head mount offset gen bracket. That's a driver's side, I believe. Moon pedal, original moon pedal that doesn't look like it's ever been used. Maybe once or twice, but clean. Gonna go in Dad's 53 Ford. And then a neat Edelbrock 359 triple deuce for a 59 AB, which I may trade or sell or hang on the wall and keep for a rainy day. In other news, I got this really cool 1922 patent date Walker floor jack, which matches my 1936 Walker 4-post lift. Did a good job on the trading aspect of that. I'm happy with it. He's happy with it. I don't know if you guys can read that. The patent date is 1922. I don't know when the manufacture date is. It's a number 740. And it's just a mechanical mechanism. You got to flip it forward. Flip it forward like that. You spin this thing to raise the head up to what you're lifting, and then you just crank it over like a come along. And up she comes. Going back down. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I assume there's some kind of a way to ratchet it back down. But I know if I go here and flip it into reverse, and I pull it all the way back. Oh, that didn't work. Like that. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it goes. It's working now. It actually catches and eases it down 1/2 at a time. That's cool. It was not working before. So, awesome. Thing rolls great though. You can press down and pivot it around. It's neat. And while I'm going to restore my Walker lift, I don't think I'm going to restore this. I just love the look of it. I'll clean it up a little bit. But it'll just get used around here, and an inconveniently sized floor jack, but still really cool. I'm stoked. Anyway, on to our actual reason for getting together today. It's in that bag over there. Let's open it up. Okay, see what we got here. Christmas all over again. This actually was my Christmas gift from my wife and myself to myself. This is the Vevor 6-liter ultrasonic cleaner. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened up here. Take a look at what we got inside. Looks like it shipped pretty well. It did get thrown over my gate, but it doesn't look like it damaged it all that much. Oh, and it's well packed inside too. Real well packed. Let's see. There's our lid. The lid is wrapped in a plastic bag, and it's got a nice protective coating on it. Some guys leave those on forever and ever. I like to get them all dirtied up with my fingers. And look at the way it shines. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it all off. I think the only reason you ever leave these kinds of things on is if you're ever going to sell it. And that way you can peel it off right before you sell it and say, look, it's barely used. Just kidding. Be honest. It's a drain hose, I'm guessing. A little Teflon pipe fitting male, or a male drain end, hose drain end, I'm imagining, for the thing here. 6 liters does not look very big. I mean, it's plenty big enough for carbs. There's cord. There's a basket. Plenty big enough for carbs, but I'm glad I didn't get an any size smaller. There goes the box. I would say really well packed. I'm happy with the packing. It's got a nice finish on it. Almost looks engine turned, but it's not. It's like a checkerboard kind of finish. I would say right out of the box, that is a pretty unit. It says right here on the corner, do not power on the device before filling water into the tank. Don't keep the heat. Keep heat the device after empty. It is written in Americanese. Don't keep heat the device after emptying the tank. I think they mean don't keep heating the device after emptying the tank. Please power off the device. Wait for water to turn room temperature. Then you can drain off the water of the tank. Okay. Vevor needs a little help with how to write these things. I'm available, by the way, Vevor. If you want to hire me, I'll help you write these things in a little better English. It makes a little more sense. That does not want to come off, so we'll leave that on. Looks good out of the box. Here's a drain, little petcock. I'm guessing, since I don't read directions, and I'm a smart guy, that this plastic fitting goes in this brass drain, and I'm guessing they want you to use Teflon for it. I don't know why you would use Teflon for plastic to brass, but they included it, and I don't know that it'll hurt me all that much, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it anyway. But I'll tell you, if I was down at the hardware store, I don't think I would buy Teflon for a plastic to brass. Really anything with brass. Generally, the rule of thumb is brass is kind of stretchy, although plastic's even more stretchy. We'll thread that on in there. Let's go ahead and get a wrenching device. Channel locks. Ought to be plenty. We are talking about a drain line here, not anything holding pressure. I do want to extend one thing we're going to try in this video, which is something that Phillips Hot Rod Garage, if you guys are not subscribed to Phillips Hot Rod Garage, get subscribed to Phillips Hot Rod Garage, because that is a fun channel to watch. He's building a cool Model A not a Roadster, a 5-window. And man, he's doing a lot of metal work on that thing. It's pretty detailed. He's doing a great job. But anyway, he gave me a tip. He has one of these, and he said, so you don't waste a whole bunch of solvent or gas or whatever you're using, he said that the ultrasonic waves will travel right through like a glass device, like a jar. So he said, go ahead and put, your bits, your bolts, your whatever in a glass jar. He said he used gasoline and it worked great, but he said put them in a glass jar and then fill this up with water and put the glass jar in the water, and it worked just fine. You don't have to waste a whole bunch. I was going to try like some Dawn dish soap and a few things. I've read about a few mixes, but I might give gasoline a try on this endeavor. So there's the basket. The basket drops in like that. I would say offhand, here's a Stromberg 97. I would say offhand that it would fit a whole carburetor in there. Not that you would want to, yeah, just like that. There you go. Think. Not that you would want to clean the carburetor that way. You want to take these apart. But, point of reference, it will fit. Let's see. What do we want to clean? We're going to need to fill this thing up with some water first. It does have a fill line, and that fill line is Get you guys in here to take a look. The fill line is right here. That's the fill line. So far, what I'm seeing looks pretty healthy here. It's a good looking unit. It's got lots of protective films and stuff. I bet it's got one on this blue plastic too. Yep. Nice shiny front panel there. User manual. Let's take a look. I generally don't, but let's take a look. Spent $100 on this thing. It was on sale, by the way. I used Mad Ginger Customs code is 5% code, and then it was also on sale already, down from 120 to 100. So I got it for under $100 shipped to my house. Can't complain about that. Okay. Comes with ultrasonic bath, soundproof lid, cleaning basket, power cord, and a user manual. Good uses are health and beauty, dental, hospitals and laboratories, jewelry, optical, manufacturing, and maintenance. I would say we're in the maintenance end. You got a readout here. It's in Celsius, not Fahrenheit, so be careful there. It's in Celsius. Don't be setting it at 98 degrees. That's really hot. I don't bet it doesn't even go that high. Temperature up, temperature down, on, off, on, off. Looks like it must have two. Nope, I'm wrong. This is time. So it's just one set of controls here. Temperature up, temperature down, time up and down, timer on and off. What's saying right here, the unit must be connected to ground. So don't be plugging this, don't be ripping your ground post off your cord and plugging it into a 2-prong outlet. Do not disassemble the unit except for the authorized serviceman. I don't know what that means. Do not touch the socket with a wet hand. Well, that's smart. Do not use this unit when the tank is not to fill the water. Come on, Vevor. Hire me. I'll work for cheap. Do not use this unit when the tank is not to fill the water. When the tank is not filled with water. The way you guys write that stuff, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not trying to rip on you. I'm just saying, we could change a couple words around and make this thing look a lot sharper by just simply having the writing that's on the machine correctly structured. All right, power cord goes in the back. I will not be plugging it in until I have it filled to water. It's got a switch, on-off switch on the back. Let's fill to water first, huh? We'll go ahead and do that. Let me I'll grab a bucket and I'll get right back with you guys. Do not judge my bucket. I have kids. And this was handy and pretty clean. Fill to water. I'm a little below the line there. I'm wondering how much volume a jar will take up. I think we are going to try a jar with gas in it. I want to try Philip's recommendation first. So let's track down a jar first. I got this real neat old Art Deco jar. I'm wondering, do you have to have the lid on? Does it matter? Let's read. It doesn't actually say put the lid on. So we're going to set Philip's plan aside for the moment because my only jar I have is way too tall for this thing. I do want to test that, but I don't think tonight is going to work because I'm going to have to find a real little jar to fit inside there. So I'm going to go grab some dish soap. Since we're not going to do that, I'm going to put a little more water in. Bet you guys wish you were as fast as me, huh? Bet you wish you were as fast as me. Well, get a camera, edit it. Be like the Flash. All right, now we're getting up there. Don't tell my wife I stole the dish soap. Palm olive. Oh, we had Dawn. Squirt some palm olive in there. And go ahead and get this thing powered up. So, what do we want to clean? I would say we could clean this nice wheel bearing full of crap. I did see somebody's video where they said we should mix all this stuff. So let's set a temperature. Go on. Set it at what? 55 degrees Celsius? We'll start that to heating. Start that to heating and we'll kind of stir this on up. And I would say that is just temperature. So the timer must turn on the ultrasonic sounds. I would say, if you pried it out of me. Let's take some 8BA head bolts here. They're kind of greasy. Kind of greasy, kind of cruddy. Them in our basket. What else do we have? What's cruddy around here? Got a couple other wheel bearings. Couple wheel bearings that are nice and greasy. I'm going to get all that old grease out of those. Not all over our hands. Got any other cruddy stuff around? What else do we have? Shop's full of cruddy stuff till you have a brand new ultrasonic cleaner and then you can't find anything you want to clean up. How about some adjustable lifters? That sounds fun. Let's put some adjustable lifters in there. Out of our 8BA that we're going to put in our 59AB. Spring keepers for the same motor. Those in there. It says we're at 10 degrees right now because it's got a set temp and then an actual temp reading. It says we're at 10 degrees. So it's got a bit of heating to go. Maybe it will help for me to do that. That'll actually get it up to temp. Let's see how long it takes to get that temperature up. Any guesses? Let's see how long it takes for it to go up 1 degree Celsius. Says it's on. There's 1 degree Celsius. All right, so it is going up. It's heating. It's working. It's working. I'll tell you what. One nod I'll give to Vevor right off the bat is I have heard, over the years you buy stuff at Harbor Freight, or people that buy stuff at Harbor Freight, Chinese imported stuff, and it's kind of hit and miss. Some stuff is dropped back down to 10 degrees. I don't know why I did that, but some stuff is really good. It's like unbelievable how good it is for the price, especially simple stuff, like a tire iron or a pickle fork or something. You go down to Harbor Freight and you pay like $7 instead of 40 or 50 or 100 for a snap-on one. It's a piece of steel. You need it to pop ball joints out. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. One thing I'll say about Vevor, the point I'm beating around to, is I haven't heard a lot of complaints for the price point. The guys I know that have this stuff, they say, it really works pretty well. I know a few people that have this, and they said it works really pretty well. Pretty impressive for the money. I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do. You guys are going to see it with me here, and I'm going to give you an honest opinion. They didn't give this to me. They didn't pay me. This isn't sponsored. This is honest. So let's see what it does. It keeps going between 10 and 11. So we're going to go ahead and speed up the camera here. And I'll pop back in with you guys once it gets remotely up in temperature. Well, folks, up to 23 degrees. And since I'm bored and just kind of sitting here, I figured I'd pull apart one of these Holley 94s and put that in there too. So there's the base. I don't know if we need to run these screws all the way out. We probably should. Let's take them out. Anything else really needs to come out? We could take the butterfly out, but I don't really want to. It moves just fine on this. So let's put that in there. Almost warm at 24 degrees Celsius. So let's just give it the amount of time. Here, I'll put this choke cable housing in there. We'll give it however hot it gets while I take this apart. And then we'll start running it. I'm sure it will heat up more as it runs for 25 minutes because it's only been, honestly, guys, I know I've been stopping the camera because I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I didn't want to sit here and just burn time that I'm going to have to edit later, but it's only been 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and it's at 24 degrees Celsius, and it's going up pretty quick. Now 25. Really not too bad. So I pulled the Holley 94 base off. It's real simple. Pulled the idle mixture screws out. Screw 1, screw 2, and then there's one on the bottom. Screw 3 takes the base off. I was real careful pulling off this paper gasket, and it's in pretty good shape. And I can spray some copper head gasket in a can on this and reuse it because I'm cheap and I reuse every bit that I can. That's good. You know, you got to be able to tell if it's good or not. I'll tell you guys something else. I absolutely love this screwdriver. I bought this screwdriver at a secondhand tool store that's local to me that I like to frequent. But I bought this thing. It's got a brass handle. I just thought it was neat. I got it home and I thought, it's really heavy. And the bottom unscrews. And it's got another screwdriver. And you know what? The bottom of that unscrews. And it's got another screwdriver. And you know what? That comes out. Bottom of that unscrews. It's got another screwdriver. It's just like them little Russian dolls. You got 4 screwdrivers for one here. I love this thing. I think I only paid $2 for it or something. Love old tools. I absolutely love old tools. They got character. They were made better. They're made to last, not let you down in a pinch. I love the way this screwdriver works. That's why I'm using it. Fits in my hand well. It's knurled so I can grip it well. It fits all these old screws just nice. We're up to 26 degrees as I chatterbox. Now, I'm not going to toss this little hardware in. Oh, I'm missing that, aren't I? This thing was supposed to come with a little small net. It's supposed to come with a little mesh net. I've seen other guys, and theirs came with a little mesh net. Let me double check the bag, make sure I'm not talking out of turn here in the box. Yeah. Gosh darn it, Vevor. The other fellow's got a little mesh baggie that they can put small parts in, which is what I was just getting at, is that I'm not tossing these little screws in there. Yeah, I got no little mesh baggie anywhere. Not unless it's taped to the bottom. I didn't look at the bottom of it. Nope. Huh. Well, I suppose what we could do is use this little plastic bag. I don't suppose that matters that much, but I should have got a little mesh baggie. Disappointed, Vevor. Unless you guys stopped including those for some reason. But I know other fellows got a mesh baggie, which is a really good idea. My only critique of what they got is I looked at it and I thought, that mesh baggie is not that big. It'd be nice to have it be a little bigger for a lot of little screws, But, I guess I didn't get one. I'm up to 28 degrees Celsius now. I don't expect it'll cause a problem. The hole in the drain in the bottom is super small. Now, It's not so small that real little parts wouldn't go into it, but none of this stuff is small enough to go in those holes. Let's see if this thing, yeah, gentle. There we go. There we go. There's our float, brass float. Got a little pin that keeps it in place. Little brass pin in the bag. Brass float. Do we want to ultrasonic clean a brass float? I don't think so. We'll just leave that out. Needle and seat. We'll leave the rest of this together. Just put that in like that. To 29 degrees Celsius. That barely gets in there. Oh, water's getting warm. Bath temperature. You know, bathtub temperature. I'll tell you another thing, guys. When you pull these off, if they do tear just a little, go buy some gasket making material. Get a razor blade. Go buy some gasket making material. It's not hard. And you don't have to pay money for gaskets. I think this one's going to... Oh, nope. Yep. There it goes. Yep. Salvage another gasket. You guys can make your own gaskets and save yourself a bunch of money doing so. Now, that looks brand new in there. How much you guys want to bet this thing got rebuilt? Maybe used a little, if that, or maybe just left on a shelf. Put that in our bag, in our non-included mesh bag that we should have got, Vevor. If anybody from Vevor watches this, I'll tell you what. Just double check. Got to double check. Make sure I'm not talking out of my ears. I want to fit this in there, but I might have too much crap in there now. I may just have too much crap in there. It might fit. It might fit. Let's see. Hey, that's good enough. It fits. But our bag's not in there. The bag up here in the top. 34 degrees Celsius. What do you guys think? Should we kick on our 25 minutes? I think so, huh? There she goes. Oh, that's an annoying sound, isn't it? Sounds like a old washing machine or a dryer buzzer. Ah. Hurry up, open up the dryer, get your clothes out of there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Really, here, I'll give you up close and personal. That is a horrible sound. I'll tell you what. Anyway, she's up to 41 degrees Celsius now. Getting there. Really getting there. I'll take a peek. It's a little louder when you open her up. It's warm. It is not hot, but it's warm. 22 minutes left. I'll bring you guys back when we get down to the end. Down to 3 minutes, 34 seconds. It's up to 58 degrees Celsius. Steaming now. Yeah, it's steaming. It's nice and toasty. Water's nice and murky. We're getting down to it. I'll keep you guys with me through the finish here. Drain out whatever's in there. For that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the switch on the back, power down. I'm going to pull the power out, the electricity away. Let's take a look in here. What do we got? Nice murky water. I'd say that's a good sign. I would say that is a good sign. This bag's a little flexible, a little pliable after all that. That stuff looks cleaner. Let's go ahead and test out their drain system here. See if we leak all over the place. We got murky water coming out. It's steaming pretty good. It's probably 40 degrees outside here, though, out in the shop. I do not have the hot shop heated up. That's pretty much it. I'll shut that off. Okay. Can't see. I'd show you in the bucket, but it's covered in suds because that I used that soap. Well, that's a lot cleaner. It's loosened a lot of stuff up. I would say that I would probably run that again, and I'm not blaming the machine. Probably just my, I chose a pretty mild way of going there, just a little palm olive soap. But I mean, everything on this is loose now. Everything on this is loose. I could probably take a little brass brush to it and then run it again. I mean, you could tell it's all just coming off. But yeah, happy with that. Let's take a look at the middle here. Loosened up all the stuff down in the bowl. Loosened up all the carbon from backfiring. Did a good job. Did good job, guys. I'm not knocking this one bit. I hardly used anything for cleaning this. I did not. A little palm olive and some water. The rest of that's ultrasonic. That's better. Let's look at some of this greasy stuff. I stuck a valve in. That's not too clean. That's not too clean. I mean, it's all coming off. It's been steamed and air vibrated. Just a quick wipe, and that came pretty clean. The heavy grease is still there. These cleaned up pretty good. These bolts. I would say, just from what I'm seeing here, everything could probably run again. Everything could probably run again, and it would probably do even better second time around. But I don't fault anything that happened here. I mean, it did stuff. It cleaned stuff. It vibrated crap loose. I would say I need to do a little research, maybe buy some purple power. I heard some guys run purple power, and that works real well. Space cleaned up nice. There's some crusties in the bottom of the tank there. Stuff in this bag. How did that turn out? Stuff turned out pretty good. Metering rod. This stuff turned out pretty good. It's cleaner. All around, I'm happy. I'll tell you what, for the 96 bucks I got with my discount code, my sale, that was a good buy. I'm certain that a portion of this has to do with the length of runtime, the temperature. I probably could have it cranked up a little hotter. It wasn't that hot. Solvent choice. Yeah. It definitely cleaned things. I mean, things are way cleaner than they were before. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. We are going to do a Holly 94 carb rebuild video. I got a bunch of them. I think I got 20. So I'm going to ultrasonic a bunch of bits out and get one that's, I'll get one. It could end up being this one. I'll get one that's real clean, or maybe I'll start the video and we'll run through the ultrasonic again, just the carburetor, start with a real greasy, cruddy one. Show everybody that. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you comment and like and subscribe. Subscribing helps a lot. Tell your friends, spread the word. But hope to see you guys in the next one. And keep on keeping on. Later.